For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of season 3 here in the Oviedo Career Mode series. We are out of the transfer window. 15 total new signings for the side. And we start with an away game against Osasuna. Benzema scored a hat-trick in the opening day for Real Madrid. They presumably are near the top of the table. Then we actually have an international break between game 1 and game 2, which is against Deportivo. And then we'll have the traditional squad report post-transfer window, so you can see all of the stats of all of the new signings and those that have already started to grow as well to this point. Real Madrid have actually played 2, so he might not have scored a hat-trick, but they are undefeated, as are Sevilla, and neither of them have conceded a goal so far either. We, of course, drew 0-0 against Barcelona in our first game, which sees us currently down in 15th. But victory against Osasuna, who drew their first game 1-1, would shoot us right up the table. So, that is the plan. Hopefully, we can execute it perfectly. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this series. And hopefully, we can start with a good result. Castro, across to Pineda. Across to the left-hand side now. Rico pushing forward. Conor Pianca has space. Now, if you cast your mind back to last season, we actually lost to Osasuna towards the end of the year. And it was... Oh! Oh! What just happened? It's a deadly finish, but from a defender. What's he done? I've never seen a player score an own goal quite like that before in my life. Well, we're 1-0 up. Garcia, what on earth have you just done? After 11 minutes, we lead. As I was saying, last season, we lost to Osasuna after beating Barcelona. This time, I don't want to suffer the same fate. And if the defenders are going to do stuff like that, I don't think we will. Wow. Free kick. Tienza whips it in. Konate with a header. That was headed towards the back of the net. A player we were previously interested... Why have you thrown that out there? That's not where I asked you to throw that at all. That's a let-off. Very nearly a silly goal conceded at one end after the silly goal was conceded at the other. Wow. Konate was a striker I was previously interested in, but after bringing in Abel Hernandez, I've cooled my interest in him. But we may still revisit him later on in the save, perhaps. Cicciaretti looking for some space on his left foot, but he's not going to get it. Still just the 1-0. Switch it. We start the second half on the front foot. Nice ball into Conor Pianca, and there is Cicciaretti, who could shoot. It's a good save by Mario Fernandez. Cicciaretti improving, but slowly. But he's becoming more and more involved in the way that I build up my play. So promising signs from him after, as I mentioned in the last episode, I haven't been getting on with him. Hirovic has been performing better than him, but I'm persisting with Cicciaretti for the time being because, obviously, I want to get the best out of him, and the only way you do that is by continuing to play him and figuring out how best to use him. So at present, he's still in my first team picture, but he is really going to have to step it up if he wants to stay there, and they might equalise here, but they haven't because Arrizabalaga made a good save. Corner to Osasuna to come in from this near side. Clerk to take it. That's a decent delivery. Arrizabalaga has come and punches well clear as well. Heselu with the turn, and he's done brilliantly. Cicciaretti does have the pace to get away if I can find the right pass at the right time, which I might well be able to do, which I haven't been able to do, unfortunately. Castro out to Feminina. There's Pineda. Heselu is through that gap, and we might be able to find Cicciaretti now, which we have done. And Cicciaretti into the box. Can he finish? No, not quite. Kishna, just poke it around the corner for Cicciaretti to run onto. He's running low on stamina now, Cicciaretti, so I might take him off sooner rather than later and bring on Hirovic. But for now, he stays on the field. Space opened up here. Conor Pianca as the defender tucked narrow. Got it in there to Heselu. Took an age to reach him, but we'll get it to Castro. And back to Heselu. Hit it early. It was on his left foot, though. Nowhere near as much power as it would have been if he'd struck it with his right. Comfortable save for the keeper. Oh, what a switch. Great ball out wide to Oya, who's just come on, and he's in a great position, although he's forced himself wide. And oh, wow. If they score from this... If I tackle him, it bounces off my other defender, bounces back to the man who had the initial opportunity, and then he scores, I lose my mind and throw my controller out the window. Thankfully, it didn't happen, and my controller stays put. Gonzalez on the run. Why are you there, Sailor? It's not where I need you to be. There we go. Inside is where I needed you to be. And there he is again. And I'm going to have to go backwards. Oh, great ball into Konoplyanka though. And a great spin from the Ukrainian and a good save from the keeper. Just going to loft this back in and hope that someone gets there. The keeper does. There's the final whistle. A slim margin of victory by 1-0 thanks to that rather hilarious own goal, to be completely honest. We didn't do that well in the game, but we were gifted all 3 points. So I will take it. Thank you very much. We'll head now post-international break with hopefully no injuries into the game against Depor. Varela. Korb. Quickly get it around the corner there into Hirovic. Wait for the run around the outside. Nice little back heel. It's Timor. It's tame is what it is. Straight to Casillas. Korb forward into Hernandez. Out wide to Gonzalez. Somehow managed to get through the defender that was in the way. Timor dink this, looking for Vidio. It's a great ball and it's weighted perfectly. Vidio looking to cut back inside. Give it there to Korb. To Hirovic. It's not Hirovic, it's Timor. Back to Korb. Korb will let fly and straight at Casillas again. Corner for Deportivo. Gal Kakuta to take it. And that's a dangerous one, but Korb will just put his foot straight through it to get it away. They'll have a throw in instead. Where they're actually going to throw it, well, actually, there's the obvious target. Was in control of the wrong player. Ended up running right off the pitch. Kakuta looking to get through the gap, but not able to do so. Vidio will poke this in front of Varela. And we'll go for a counter-attack. Abel Hernandez is rather lacking in the way of movement to start things off, but Hirovic will get this inside here to Vidio. And now Abel Hernandez makes the run. And I'll return it to Vidio, and Vidio will not score. Casillas with a good save. Building some good moves, but we can't seem to get the ball in the back of the net. I want to flick this backwards if I can. Varela's done well. Gonzalez trying to turn. He's done well too. And that's the end result. Good ball into Andone. And around the corner to Cholak. Oh, nice return pass, but thankfully for me, the finish is left wanting. Playing a complete rotation 11 here, as obviously we have Paris Saint-Germain midweek. I don't want my first team available for that. I don't want to get into the Champions League and then not try my best to get as far as possible in it, especially with the amount of money available to be won for potential transfer budget boosts next season. I've overhit that pass though, unfortunately, but it's just not come together in this game so far. We've had a couple of good chances, but they've all been pretty tame, and Casillas hasn't really been genuinely tested. Everything he's done so far has been pretty comfortable for him. That was a rather nice challenge from Timor. And we'll get it back to him in a moment if Abel Hernandez can find the pass, which he can. Abel Hernandez has actually been a bit of a letdown for me so far this season, I'll be honest. I was very excited about the idea of him coming in. But unfortunately, he hasn't quite lit the league alight in the manner in which I hoped he would. To be fair, he's not even gotten a spark, let alone let the league alight so far. But there is still plenty of time for him to impress. And I'm kind of sticking with him, as I am with Cicciaretti as well. Hirovic breaks through here. Now, he has impressed whenever he's come off the bench to play. And, Casillas does just enough. Hirovic has buried a couple of those on his left foot in pre-season, but not able to do so in a competitive game here. That should be another corner, hopefully. And we will try again. Vidio with another cross. Up goes Gonzalez again. Out for another corner again. Come on, lads. Let's get ourselves in front, shall we? Perhaps I'll put this one a little bit further back. A bit more of a whip on it. Up goes Kakuta, I thought. Oh, and Retsos can't keep it in. It was Timor with the header. But unfortunately, we're not able to turn it home. Varela. Inside, they're looking for Luis Sanchez, but given away to Mosquera. He's far. Out wide to Cartabia. Turns well. Beats 2 defenders with 1 spin. Trying to just hold him up, which we've done well, but he still gets the cross in. Away from 1 man, but Gael Kakuta could get it back in, and he has done. That's going to be a corner with 7 minutes to go. I do not want to lose this game. I'd rather take a 0-0 draw than a 1-0 defeat. Gonzalez flicks it on. Keeper should catch and has done. Danger averted. I've made 3 changes. I've brought on Akeche, I've brought on Galdamez and Luis Sanchez. So 3 changes through the middle to hopefully spark some sort of life into this game. So far, we haven't really tested Iker Casillas, but this is a good move, and Galdamez is doing well here, and I'll poke that to Abel Hernandez, who could get in behind here, then pull back to a teammate, and Akeche, good save by Casillas. This time he was properly tested, but he passes that test with flying colours. Akeche with the corner. It's a good one. Oh, it's headed behind. Please be another corner. It is. Still trying to get this winner late on here. Akeche with another delivery. Up goes Galdamez, but it's wide of the target. There's the final whistle. It's a 0-0 draw against Deportivo La Coruña. Iker Casillas keeps a clean sheet against his former team, which is frustrating, but fair play to him. 12 shots, 7 on target. It's not like I didn't have chances in that game. We just couldn't convert any of them, unfortunately. We'll jump back and have a quick squad report now before Paris Saint-Germain tomorrow. There has been growth throughout the squad already this season. Kepa Arrizabalaga is up 1 to 83. Haven't been training him, of course, but handling up 1 to 87 now, diving up 1 to 80 and kicking now 77. Crucially, his reactions are going up too. No growth from Femenia yet, but still a very key part to my defence. Vezo is growing a little bit on an individual stat basis. He's been very solid for me. Extremely pleased with him. Ed Lewis continuing to grow as well, which is good. Diego Rico's up 1 to 80 now at left back, despite not really growing that much in key areas, but I'll take it. He too has been an impressive signing so far. Castro, no growth or decline from him. 1 goal, 1 assist. Pineda up 1 to 80 rated now. He's growing across the board as well, technically, which is good news. Although, obviously missed a chunk of pre-season because of, well, all of pre-season actually, because of international duty. Kirchner is up 1 to 79 since coming in from Lazio. Really pleased with that. Hasn't excelled so far, but he's been better than anyone else. Yevgen Konoplyanka has grown up 1 to 82 already as well, with 1 goal from his 3 games so far this season. Couldn't have asked for more from him either. Cicciaretti's up 1 actually to 79. Hopefully, he'll be similar to Jonathan Pereira in the way that I didn't get on with Pereira when I first started using him, but through a little bit of growth, he actually improved as a player, and I got on better with him throughout the course of the season. That might be the case with Cicciaretti as well. Haven't been doing too well with him so far, but if he keeps getting better, then hopefully his performances will too. Heselu, a little bit of growth, only 3 goals for him so far, 1 in 4 competitive games. Not the Heselu that we remember from last season. Abel Hernandez yet to score for me, but he's only played 2 competitive games in La Liga, so I can't really be too critical, although 5 games played in pre-season, just the 1 assist. I'm hoping that he's another player that will improve as time goes on, and I'll become more accustomed as to how to use him. Retsos is up 2 to 74, which is good news. He was unhappy, but is now happy at the club with the amount of football he's been playing. We've turned that situation around, thankfully. Varela is still 77 rated. Obviously, he's seen his first team spot taken now by Rico. Gonzalez up 1 assist and 1 goal in pre-season. Nothing yet in competitive play, but obviously Kirchner has now taken his first team spot. Julian Korb, mainly used from the bench now, but has started a couple of times at centre mid and been very good for me. Going to be a very, very important rotation player for me this year. Timor has been okay as well. Another important rotation player for me in the central midfield role. Hajrovic scored a couple of good goals in pre-season. Almost got one in that last game, but not able to, as Casillas made a good save, unfortunately, but he's going to be crucial to me this year. Pereu, our scout future star, is up 1, which is good news. Still hoping that they'll go out on loan at some point. Rivero is up 1 and growing across the board. Carl Wilkinson is up 1. I am now training him, I think. Pretty sure I'm training him now. So hopefully he will improve sooner rather than later. Fontana is up 1. Nice growth from him across the board as well. Nice to see that the youngsters are still growing despite being out on loan. So maybe they don't have to go out on loan to get that growth. But hopefully they will continue to grow. Prado's actually unhappy at his lack of matches, but I don't think he realises he's only 59 rated. So he might have to just get used to it for now. Luis Sanchez is up 1 to 76, growing across the board. Not training him, so pleased with that growth, to be honest. He may be pushing Galdamez for a spot on the bench, if not a spot in the first team, ahead of Castro sooner rather than later. Hurtado, obviously now my backup goalkeeper, kept a clean sheet there against Depor though, so pleased with that. Richie growing across the board, Aguirre growing as well nicely, Guidi growing quite significantly actually across the board, but only up 1 overall. Sandoval also growing well, but would need his physicals to grow more if he's actually going to feature for me in the first team. Greco is growing as well. Timo Wolf is continuing to grow too, which is good news. Soria is growing too, which is also very pleasing. Vitti growing still. There's been a lot of call in the comments for me to actually use Vitti more frequently, but I can't put him in ahead of anyone else. I'm sorry. Mercado is growing nicely. He's played 1 game for me so far in the Champions League in the second leg against Salzburg, and did all right, so fair play. He obviously is a backup player. Galdamez is growing, which is good news. 21 years old, 77 rated. He is pushing for that first team spot though, but of course he and Sanchez are both fighting for the same spot, so be interesting to see. In fact, I may even use Sanchez as a cam considering his passing so good and he's not that good in the tackle. Galdamez is good in the tackle, so he'd be better for that holding role. Akeche is a player that I haven't gotten on with still. Average rating is 6.2, and that pretty much sums up my experiences with Akeche so far. I thought because of his technicals, he was actually going to be quite good. Turns out I may have been wrong. That might be a failed experiment there. I may sell on Akeche and Cicciaretti in the January transfer window, put them down as failed experiments, and use all of the money to buy in another first-team cam. Alvaro Verdillo, growing a little bit, obviously now used as rotation. Lyson has been very solid for me. Pleased with him. No growth overall so far, but not expecting too much from him. Fernandez is still a good squad rotation player for me. Obviously, Kiko Femenia still holding down that first-team role. Yossino on loan doing nothing, and Aguado out on loan doing nothing, unfortunately. Duarte, however, up 2 to 61, which is good news, but I was training him earlier on in the season, so I think that's where that growth has come from. But still, nice to see him growing, because he was one of the players I was most excited about. The league will look as follows once we scroll across to it from the Champions League. Really difficult Champions League group. Let me know, how do you think I'm going to get on in this Champions League group? I'm going to say second behind Paris Saint-Germain, but I might be completely mistaken. We are currently 9th after 2 draws and a victory from our opening 3 games. Real Madrid and Valencia, the only 2 sides to be there on full marks, and Barcelona only not on full marks thanks to their draw against me. Bilbao down there in the bottom though, having lost all 3 of their opening games. Similarly, Vallecano. Didn't expect Bilbao to be down that low, to be honest, but never mind. We'll end it there for today. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. We'll be back up to 3 games per episode as of tomorrow, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.